With SOCOM 4, I wanted the use of themes to be a little more cinematic, a little more sophisticated. And I thought about the big picture in the narrative. And really, SOCOM 4 is a much more narrative experience than any of the previous SOCOM games. And there are variations of these themes that you hear that comment on the bigger picture. What is the main character thinking about at this chapter in the story? There are times when he knows he's doing the right thing. He's feeling triumphant and excited, and there's no question in his mind. But there's other places where there's a little moral gray area. Is he doing the right thing? The theme sounds differently there. I'm not just commenting on the guys shooting at you trying to kill you. I'm also, on a subconscious level, trying to get the gamer to remember, well, this is what the character's feeling at this general stage in the story. Or there are times when I'm hinting at things that are going to come later. And all of it is background, because ostensibly I'm creating suspense music while someone's trying to kill you. The thing that drives me the most crazy about video game soundtracks is repetition. Games last for a long time, they can be replayed. It's incredibly important that you don't hear the same music over and over again, so that your brain isn't categorizing this as something that's safe and familiar. You're on the edge of your seat, and I think subconsciously not even knowing why. You don't notice that the scary music is going away, which means that you're exiting a danger zone. You just feel a score for what you're experiencing.
So you can think of the music score as a timeline, if you will, that's certain layers deep that hold different types of intensity, different types of music based on who the player's fighting or what state he's in, that sort of thing. And then vertical markers that determine where music can come in, where it can go out. It was almost as if the game was scoring in real time as you played. I remember back in the Commodore 64 days, even now, I mean, there's a contingent of, sort of like retro musicians who use the SID chip and then, go for that 8-bit stuff. And there were, even back in the day, there were amazing musicians who just eked out, just every time you thought you'd heard, the limits of what, game audio chips could manage, they'd make something amazing, but they were rare. And often they were like very, treasured gems within the gaming community. More often what you heard were blips and bloops. One of my favorite games ever is a game called Elite. It's the seminal space trading game back in the day, the grandfather of all, space trading games. And one of the interesting aspects of that game was it was entirely silent. It was devoid of music, except when you turned your docking computers on and it played the Blue Danube, similar to 2001, the docking sequence. And I remember just being amazed at the complexity of that piece in relation to the other Spectrum Commodore 64 music I was hearing, which was, mostly junk. I think now we're realizing that just like our bigger brothers in theater and film, that it's something we just can't ignore, and have a AAA product. It's a part of the package.